The regiment did not appear by accident. It was created inside a specific wartime need and within a political context that made women's aviation service possible, in a way that was unusual for the period. Marina Raskova, already a celebrated Soviet aviator, used her public standing and political access to help secure the formation of women's aviation units after the German invasion of the Soviet Union intensified the need for personnel and expanded the scale of the war. The Night Witches were part of that larger decision, not an isolated curiosity. That distinction matters. If the unit is framed only as an anomaly, its existence feels accidental, almost folkloric. If it is framed instead as a wartime formation built inside necessity, ideology, and available skill, then it becomes legible as a serious military response to pressure. The women were still underestimated, they still faced skepticism. But they were not simply wandering into combat against the grain of history. They were entering a structure that had been deliberately opened, even if uneasily, because war had made old assumptions less stable than they appeared. This is one of the reasons Marina Raskova matters so much in the foundations of the story. She is not merely a precursor. She is part of the mechanism by which possibility became policy. Her presence reminds the reader that before these women became known for operational method, there had to be an institutional decision that allowed them to exist as a regiment at all. That decision does not erase later hardship. It clarifies the pathway into it. Marina Raskova was a Soviet aviator whose pre-war achievements established her as one of the most prominent female pilots in the Soviet Union. She gained national recognition following long-distance record flights, including the 1938 Rodina flight, and was among the first women to be awarded the title Hero of the Soviet Union. Her public stature placed her in a position of influence at the outset of the Second World War. After the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, Raskova played a central role in the formation of women's aviation units. Responding to appeals from female pilots seeking combat roles, she petitioned the Soviet leadership and secured authorization for the creation of Aviation Group 122, which included 3 all-female regiments. Among them was the 588th Night Bomber Regiment, later redesignated as the 46th Guards Night Bomber Aviation Regiment. Raskova's involvement extended beyond advocacy. She participated directly in organising the units and in their initial development as operational formations within the Soviet Air Force. Her death in January 1943, during a flight to the front, occurred while these units were actively engaged in combat operations. Her role links pre-war aviation achievement with wartime mobilisation, marking a transition from individual accomplishment to institutional formation within the Soviet military structure